Hi everyone, it's Justina here from House of Mahalo. Hello, good to see you. So this is my intro video for a new project we're starting this month, which is to do an altered book. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the project, what I've done so far, what we can expect going forwards, and also just to give you a little look at the kits that I'll be using as well. So the first thing is I just wanted to talk a little bit about the altered book itself. So I started following a tutorial from 49 Dragonflies. Barbara's done an excellent tutorial on making an altered book where she really goes from, like completely start to finish. And so I was following that. And this is something that I want to be able to do with you as our main project for this month, but it is going to be something that's going to run for quite a few months actually. So I'm nicknaming the project Through the Seasons. So my idea for this is I wanted to make an altered book that sort of runs through the whole year. So it has pages for every season within it in order. So I just thought I would take you through what I've got here. So this, as you might have guessed, is a Reader's Digest book. I just went with this one. I've got lots of them, so I just went with brown because I felt like this would be, to be honest, I felt like it would go well with each season because, as you might have guessed, I'm going to be doing botanicals and nature for the seasons. So I felt like this would go really quite well with that and just be more neutral for us to then decorate up further and obviously, cover the spine and stuff like that. Now, what I've done is I've gone through and I've already started planning out where I want pockets to be and such like. Again, as I say, I'm following the tutorial from Barbara, so I will link her videos down below so you can go and have a look at that. I didn't want to do this part on camera because, well, it was quite a long time to do it, ripping out the pages and doing the pockets. And because I was following the tutorial, I didn't really feel like I needed to show you that part as such. I didn't really change much from the videos that Barbara had done. So anyway, what I wanted to show you though is how I'm tackling the idea of it being this Through the Seasons project. So what we've got is I've gone through and I first of all followed her tutorial in terms of getting the pockets in and ripping out the pages. So what she was doing was for every pocket that she was having, she would rip out, I believe it was 8 pages in between the next page. So this gets glued on top of the back page. And as you can see here, you basically have ripped out 8 pages in between the two parts of the pocket, if that makes sense. And you go through the whole entire book doing that, making different pockets. We've got a side one there, tuck over ones here, and you just go through and do the whole book. Now, of course, my book was a different size to what she was using, naturally. So I ended up with a certain number of pages. I can't remember the number. I really should have filmed this like the day after doing this because then it would have made more sense. But once I had that, I counted up how many pages that I had and I counted up the pocket pages especially because what I've got in the beginning is, this is going to be decorated up. I wanted to glue these pages together probably, or get rid of them, or do something where these are not a pocket, they're writing. And likewise at the back, again, we'll be doing something with this. And then I've got these pages, which I'll probably have glued together or something. So I counted up the pocket pages and I worked out that I had six double page spreads for each season. That's how I worked it out. Because all I did was I counted up the pocket pages and I divided it by 4. And it turned out to be a really good number. It was 6 double pages per season. And I'll show you that in a minute. And what I worked out is that could be 6 weeks. That could be 6 weeks per season. So a double page spread or a page per week of the season. So that's how I'm doing a year-round project book to have all the seasons in it in just this, actually quite thin book once you take the pages out. So that is how I did that. I just thought I would share in case it was helpful. So I've got the first page here, which I imagine being like an intro to the book slash more of a general type page. And then I've just gone through and I've written down here, spring. So this is my first double page spread for spring. And if I have remembered correctly, this should be 6 double pages. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And this should be, yes, and then we go to summer. So that is the end of spring. So if we start from the beginning, that is my spring pages. And then we come to summer. So again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 for summer. And here's where we start autumn. So the way that I'm going to film it is I'm actually going to start with autumn first, which is here with my handy bookmark. Because we are we're approaching autumn, that is just how my brain works when it comes to creativity. So I thought if we start in the middle, so yeah, essentially we're smack bang in the middle, we'll start with autumn and then we'll work through winter and then we'll come back to spring and summer. So again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 double page spreads for autumn, and then we start winter, and then we've got another 1, 2, 3, I think I had this as like a writing page, 4, 5 and 6, and then this can be more like an overview of the year, conclusion type pages. So yeah, 6 double page spreads per season. I think that I actually worked it out as being, if you were to do, if each single page, so this was a week's worth of journaling. So my idea was if you were to journal once per week, then that would be 12 weeks per season. So yeah, that works out, right? I'm so sorry. My maths is not great. But as I say, I was working this out a couple of weeks ago, actually. I should have filmed it straight away because, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, it's a full page per week, which gives you 12 weeks for each season. And that's just simply, I wanted the project to be through the seasons. That was always going to be the case. But in terms of it working out as being the exact number of weeks, that wasn't intentional. I was just following Barbara's tutorial and I just counted up the pages later, divided by 4, and that gave me how many page spreads for each season I could have. And yeah, it just worked out. So I don't know how many pages this was in the beginning, before I started. Over 526 pages, and yeah, I ripped out a lot. So yeah. So as I say, I haven't glued any of the pockets, haven't done any inking. I've just simply gone through, torn and folded, and just set aside like my ideas for it. But I just thought I would give you that overview in case it's helpful. So that's the book. And then whilst we're here, I'll also show you some of the pages, some of the kits that I'll be using. So these are 2 of the kits. These are what I'll be using in general throughout the book, as well as specifically for the autumn and winter pages, because naturally, you know, they come first. So what I have here is 2 kits, and I probably messed up the orders, so I'm so sorry, but they're from the same designer. They're both from Liana Scrap. One of them is her Journaling Basics kit, and one of them is her Autumn Essentials kit. I will link them down below for you. And basically I was looking for the nature side of things. I think this one's that way. And I wanted lots of writing space. This one actually, so this is black. I wasn't sure how this was going to print, because I've never printed such dark paper before, and I love it. I kind of want this to be like the end papers of the book now. Isn't it like, you know, neutral enough, botanical enough, nature enough to be like, yeah, it could be, maybe. But basically I was looking for pages that I felt were neutral enough for me to collage with and turn into like writing pages. to stick things onto and stuff like that. So I felt like these kits worked really well for those reasons. And I want to stick with the same designer through the book, if I'm honest. Isn't that stunning? I love that green. Gorgeous, isn't it? I do want to stick with the same designer. So when I come round to spring and summer, that's when I'll start looking at Leanna Scrap's other kits that may go with this sort of stuff. Because this one, even though we've got the red leaves, so this is probably from her autumn kit, this piece in the middle could be for spring and summer. So I feel like these are sort of like my base kits, and then I'll build up from there with Leanna Scrap's kits and ephemera and such like. This one's nice. It's got like a wood background. And I love Leanna's, I don't know if that's her real name, but I'm just going to call her Leanna. I love her kits because she puts a lot of detail into the papers, but she does a lot of papers that are actually writable on, like you can write on them. And that to me is really important for the journaling aspect of what I'm doing. I want it to be decorative, but I want there to be plenty of journaling space. So yeah, Leanna Scrap, she's one of my go-to designers, definitely. I think that might go that way. Gorgeous. Like this is how I see the end of autumn, beginning of December kind of feeling like, because you've got the reds from the autumn period, but then you've got the reds and the greens for, you know, Christmas and winter botanicals. That's kind of how I see the project going, is I would like it to be able to just merge through the book. So you start with the lighter colours. So if we think about autumn, we'll start with the lighter colours and then slowly get darker and darker and then merge into the winter colours. That's what I want it to look like. Whether it works out like that, I have no idea, but that's what I'm trying for. And then obviously moves then to spring, summer at the beginning of the book. Lovely, isn't it? I won't use necessarily all of these pages. I probably don't need this many. That's the last one. But these are really good base kits for getting me started. And as I say, I wanted them to be neutral enough for the project where I could use them throughout the book alongside other things that I've got, and then also, you know, collage on top of them, use them for collaging and what have you. So that is essentially my Through the Seasons project. That is what I want it to be like. I hope it will pan out. I've never done an altered book before, so another new one for me, but something that's been on my list for a while, and it's about time we start ticking these things off of our lists, isn't it? That's kind of what this year has been for me, is actually finally getting those projects done that I've been meaning to do and just ran out of time or didn't feel confident enough, whatever. This is the year for me to actually get these things done, so or started. So as I say, I want this to be, this is the main project for September. So the way that I've been working, as you might have seen already, is I have a main project for each month just to keep me focused and to stop me scribbling around and to keep me sane as well, because it's very easy then to become overwhelmed with all the projects that you want to get done. Whereas I'm going with the idea that I've got one main project for each month, and then I intersperse that with other smaller projects or little things that I want to do. So this is the main project for September, is to really give this a good go. So I imagine this will be a couple of videos a week, depending on how much energy I have for it, because as I say, you know, collaging these pages might actually turn out to be trickier than I expect. What I would like is to work with the seasons as close as I can. I don't want to be working on this for a full year if I can avoid it. But like autumn especially, I want to work with the autumn colours in autumn, leading then on to winter, and then spring and summer can just come in one foul swoop as far as I'm concerned, because it's all of the, you know, the florals and the pinks and the purples and the lighter, warmer kind of, well, not warm, but yeah, warm colours and nice colours. So yeah, that's an overview of the project. So the next time you see this, we'll be working on our first double page spread, which will be, as I say, we're going to start in the middle, breaking all the rules. Who am I kidding? There are no rules. we're starting in the middle, and we're going to start with the first page spread of autumn, and we're just going to work, yeah, I'm thinking if I can do a page spread per video, I think that's more than enough for me to, yeah, to do the collaging and stuff, then I think that's fine. If we end up getting more done, because this first page for autumn is actually a writing page, it's not pockets, then maybe we can do a couple of pages here and there, maybe. I don't know about the ephemera yet. I know that I don't want every pocket to have a tag or a journal card. I want some of the pockets to have extra note paper and historic vintage ephemera, not just journal cards and tags. Partly for space, like I don't want this thing to be like bulging, but also partly for the extra writing space and just that interesting element that I always like to bring into my journals. So that's how I see the project being like. Whether it ends up like that, I'm not sure. We shall find out. But in terms of actually like folding the pockets down, you know, following Barbara's video, I had this done within maybe like 45 minutes, which is not bad. I actually did two. I've got the exact same book. I've got 2 copies of it. So I have done a second one, just folding the pockets and what have you. I don't expect to work on both this year at all, but I just wanted to get another book folded up. So if I end up really enjoying this, then I have another book ready to go for when I'm ready to do my next altered book. Because this one is going to be called Through the Seasons. My next altered book journal will be, you know, something different again. So I felt like if I just had a book ready to go, then I could just start the project, you know, the other project whenever I want. So yeah, that's my overview. Sorry, a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but I just wanted to, you know, really show you that because it might help you with some ideas of how you might want to do an altered book. For me, I didn't want the whole thing to look the same because that's quite a lot of pages. And I felt like for me, I might have gotten a little bit bored making it, having it be the same throughout. Whereas, and I wanted to work on something autumnal, this allows me to work on every season. So I'm pretty happy about that. But you know me, it will be lots of nature and botanicals and flowers and all those good things that we can expect from the outdoors through the seasons. So I hope you'll consider joining me for the series. I hope you enjoy it. I hope I enjoy it. And yeah, I hope to see you on the next video. But bye for now everyone, and thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the overview and I hope you're excited about the project. Ta-ta for now.